Hey guys, David here and welcome to the Fit Pro Daily. This week's guest interview is Pearse, and actually it was Pearse's birthday, which I didn't even know when we were doing the interview. It was one of those things I found out after the interview and he didn't even say anything. Anyway, the interview is all about Pearse joining the industry, leaving the industry because he kind of fell out of the love and the passion of working in it, and then discovering it again, getting back in the industry, and now where he is with his studio, with his extension to the studio and the continuous growth of his business. So it's one of those interviews where we're going to get a lot of insight into the reasons people get into it, the reason people leave, and things that he did differently this time when he returned to really grow and explode his fitness business. What's up, guys? David here, and welcome to this week's Fit Pro Daily Live. This week, we've got a returning guest. I'm sure you've been on this episode. I'm sure you've been on this before, yeah?
I've not been on one of these, but we've done.
Yeah, we did those 5 video series before. Yeah. How was the weekend like down in South Wales? Mate, the weather was horrendous. I'm literally glad the gym roof stayed on. Yeah.
It's been windy here, but it's not been as bad. I think there's parts of Northern Ireland where it's like proper storms at the minute, and then where we are, well, I can see outside it's actually raining now, but the sun's been out most of the day, so it's weird. Like parts of Northern Ireland are getting a real bad storm, and then parts where the sun's out.
Mate, this is global warming for you. Yeah? It's gonna be random weather all the time. Yeah.
Oh, nightmare.
Right then, so when I loaded my laptop up this morning to get this kind of started, I read the title that you'd left the industry and then you've come back in and now you're like flying. I didn't even know this about you, even though I've known you for like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years now. Yeah. So I reckon this will be quite an interesting episode. But we start everybody right at the very start. So tell us, let's go back when you very first entered then. Why did you get into the fitness industry?
Yeah, so I'd actually, back when I first started, I'd done a transformation myself. Like, so I wasn't really, I came from a sports background, playing football. And I'd done it was Paul McElroy. Some people might know of him, the Amazing 12. I had done one of his transformations and just fell in love with the gym. But it was actually, I left his gym at the end of the 12-week transformation and went and trained in another, it was like an LA Fitness or something, I think it was at the time. And they done this thing where it was a free PT session.
Yeah.
And I can remember sitting down. It was basically a consultation with one of their trainers. And I remembered him asking, because he could obviously see I was in shape off the back of this 12-week transformation. But he was asking me more questions about what I done than actually trying to help me. So I was kind of scratching my head. At the time I was working in recruitment, was doing well in it, but I didn't love it. And I was kind of going is this what the fitness industry is like? And then I started observing the trainers in that gym, and it was the standard of coaching was horrendous. And I just thought these people deserve, especially for the amount of money they're paying, I was like, these people deserve proper coaching. And I kind of seen an opportunity for me. I was passionate about training at that time, and I seen an opportunity to kind of come into the industry and kind of set a standard.
Yeah.
That people sort of deserved. So that's how I get into coaching. That must be about 15 years ago now.
So how did you step out of it then? What kind of happened there then?
Yeah, so I went and done my level 2 and 3. I had just got a massive pay raise in my recruitment job, and I just hated it, mate. And I'd actually went and spoke to a gym. And asked them if I could come work there, literally off the back I get my qualification, and they were like, look, we can give you classes. This gym done massive classes up to 100 people. They're like, but we can't let you personal train out of here for a while. You need to kind of earn your stripes type of thing. Yeah. So it was a big risk because they only paid £10 a class. I was on a 40K a year salary, but I just went in to my boss at the time who in the recruitment firm and was like, listen, I'm just not enjoying working here anymore. It's not what I visualize myself doing for the rest of my life. So I'm going to leave. And I did, and went and took classes. I was doing 25 classes in this gym per week for probably 6 months before they would even let me coach, start taking on PT clients.
Yeah, that is it's almost the same for almost any industry. If you're kind of passionate and excited and new into the industry, it's going to take you a while to kind of get that foothold into it. So you managed to get to do PT sessions, and then kind of what happened then? How long until you kind of did it by yourself?
Yeah, so like, well, I was self-employed in there, but they would give you the odd client here and there as well. So I was working there for about probably a year and a half,
Hmm.
and then I left. I left at probably a tricky time too. It was just before Christmas. It just wasn't working out in that gym. I'll not go into that because it's a bit of that's a story in itself. Um, yeah, so like branched out on my own, and like loads of clients that had previously trained in that gym who weren't fans of it ended up coming to me. Like, so this was like, I think it was around November, so just before Christmas, and like I was fully booked within a
Yeah.
few weeks. Like I was expecting it to be really slow and to take a little bit of time, because of the time of year it was moving, but moved to another facility, was self-employed there, and was rammed pretty much within a couple of weeks.
So not to kind of make you feel big-headed and everything, why do you think those clients moved with you? What is it that for some people out there who may be struggling to keep clients or to bring clients along to where they move to, what is it you kind of did to get these people to come across?
Yeah, so I think it was a case of two things. So the first was results. Back then I was getting like pretty much everybody that trained with me was getting really good results. But then they also knew that like I was like, and anything I do, I like to set a standard. I don't like doing things half-hearted, which we'll get into because I ended up kind of on a slippery slope of that, which is why I left the industry. But at that time, like my standard of coaching was like, don't get me wrong, I probably wasn't the best coach, but I delivered the sessions to the best of my ability, and was passionate about them. Made sure that the clients were getting a really good customer service. So it was a combination of those two things.
Nice. Okay. So it was going well. You got qualified. You got in the big classes. You moved. All these people followed you. Why did you kind of step out again?
So stepping back was quite a few years after that. So I'd been in the industry probably 9, 10 years at this point. And it was actually my fault. So I started blaming the fitness industry on like my problems. Like I had started like partying, like was going out at the weekends, like my standards had started to slip. Um, like I was living a different lifestyle, and it was obviously impacting my work, but I was actually blaming the fitness industry. Like I can remember having conversations with other like coaches and trainers I worked with at the time saying, listen, like you want to get out now, like nobody wants personal training anymore. Like the industry's going to die. Like more people are wanting to just train by themselves and stuff. Whereas really I was the problem. It was
Hmm.
my attitude, and it was, the lifestyle that I was living. Like I just wasn't. I kind of lost the passion for it a little bit, I guess, because of the lifestyle that I was living. So I left, and actually went back into sales. So I was working for a pretty big marketing, an advertising agency for about a year.
Wow. Yeah, that is something, and that's maybe that is what a lot of people need, like to realize and have that kind of culture shock that sometimes you do need to have a step away to kind of really see how great it is.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what happened. So I had a reality check. I was working for this company, and again, I was doing well. Like sales is sort of my has always been my background and something that I'm good at. But it was like, it was the same stuff day in, day out. You had a manager breathing down your neck, chasing you for more sales, and like just nitpicking on every wee small thing. Um, and I started questioning, like, what am I doing? Like, how the hell have I landed back in a typical 9 to 5 job that, a few, like a load of years ago that I hated so much, having that structure of getting in and just doing the same stuff over and over again. Not having control over my own diary, having to be there at the set days and times and stuff. But it was a massive reality check for me. But I knew coming back to the industry, obviously, like the things I had been saying about the industry being the problem wasn't obviously true. So I knew coming back that I had to make some massive changes if I wanted to. Because back then, but before I left, I probably didn't actually have a proper business, to be
Hmm.
honest. It was a job as well, just a job with a little bit more freedom
Yeah,
than
yeah, yeah.
working a 9 to 5. Well, probably wasn't as much freedom because I was working more hours, but you know what I mean. Like you can have the freedom. Um, But yeah, so like coming back into the industry, I knew that I needed to make some serious changes if I wanted to be successful.
So what made you kind of want to step back in then? You just missed it? You missed kind of like that freedom and that
Yeah, like
opportunity
I
and
missed that.
everything?
I missed like working with clients. Like I missed celebrating people's successes. I just missed that whole buzz that you get from being a personal trainer. You know, even just like
Mm.
when you've got a client in and they have a great session. You know, even beyond the big results that people get. You know, having people come in and enjoy a session with you, not having the freedom, but also like being in that 9 to 5 job where someone like you're literally answering to somebody else, like having someone else be the boss. Like I
Mm.
struggle with authority a little bit. You know, having a manager and a boss for me is it's a difficult pill to swallow. So yeah, it was kind of realizing those things that made me want to get back into the industry again.
Nice. Okay. So take us back now then. So for people who maybe have been in that same situation, they were in, they came out, and then they moved back in. What was it that kind of made you really kick off and kind of grow to where you are now then? How did it happen so quick?
Yeah, so it was actually well, the first thing was I hired a business mentor. You know, that was because I was winging it before, you know, and don't get me wrong, I was really busy, but like I was charging probably far too little for my services. I was working far too many hours. Like I was doing all these ridiculous low cost offers and stuff just to get money into the bank account. So I didn't really have a proper established business.
Hmm.
Uh, so the first thing for me was hiring a mentor to kind of help me with like a business model, um, so that I kind of knew what direction I wanted to take the business in. But it was just more. It was also a case of just me coming back with the right attitude, you know, of making it successful and not living that because you know obviously I'd stopped the party lifestyle and my priorities had changed and like I was kind of looking at this as you know I didn't want to be walking the gym floor the rest of my life, but I knew that was going to be something that I'd have to do again to get the business off the ground. But yeah, it was mainly attitude and having the right attitude coming back into it to make the business a success.
So did you walk straight into a studio or did you work from someone else's gym
So
then?
yeah, I was working from someone else's gym. Worked there for so it's actually so I came back 4 years next month. So back in the industry 4 years next month. So yeah, I was working in someone else's gym. So it was like a commercial sort of type gym, you know, machines and stuff everywhere, spin studios, that sort of stuff. So that's where I kind of started. It was in the area that I'm in now. It was like it's my local area. So kind of started building my client base up there, started structuring the business a
Hmm.
little bit better. You know, I pretty much went straight into the group training model within their gym. I was running small group PT and boot camps, and kind of using it as a platform to build, you know, my client base up. But I never had the intentions. Like I didn't think that within because what it must be 8 9 months that I was back, and then I ended up opening with Raise the Bar Fitness. But that wasn't an idea at the time, if you get me. Like I was coming back to try and build a business. Like the reason I introduced the small group model was so that I could, you know, train the same amount of people, but not work the same crazy hours that I had been doing previously.
Yeah. So how did you find a venue then? Because that's usually one of the biggest things most people struggle with is finding somewhere.
Yeah, so where I am, it's actually it is hard to get units, but I just got quite lucky that a unit that we're in now, it's like in a little sort of commercial industrial area, it had came free, but there was like two other guys that I know of who actually viewed it and wanted to open a gym up in it as well.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, like a good friend of mine, James, because like me and him had actually got chatting about it just after I got it, and he's like, "How the hell why did they pick you over me?" And I was like, "Mate, I have no idea." Because the guy told me he was like, "Listen, we've had a few people view this. We've actually had a couple of other guys that want to open it for a gym." So it was luck because there was nothing that I had over anybody else, you know,
Yeah.
that would have made them like decide to give me the unit, but they did.
Yeah, you know what? I think that is something we all need a slice of sometimes is a bit of luck. Like most people that kind of follow me know I was just looking on Facebook at the right time when somebody said they were giving up this place in
Yeah.
Cardiff. It was nowhere near where I lived, never been here before. So it was just by chance. And like you say, just by chance, they decided to choose you. So what happened next then? Because you've literally gone from being back in for 8 months, you've got this unit, I reckon you had, I don't know, 20, 30 clients or something. How have you suddenly gone to like double the size and double the capacity and everything?
Yeah. So when I first opened, I actually had 60. So we had like a group of boot campers, about 30 or 40 boot campers, and then my SGPT clients. So I originally opened up doing both still. So like there were certain times of the day that like I had the boot camp sessions on, and then any other slots we had was like for our SGPT. First opened on my own, but even then, like I didn't have a like wasn't a proper plan in place. Like I was kind of winging it still at this stage. At this facility, at all these clients. Like to me, I was content at that point and was thinking, well, I've got plenty of clients here and probably costing me just as much in rent as what I was paying the other gym to rent their facilities, because I was renting the gym plus I paid them like an extra £500 a month for a studio to do the boot camps
Oh,
in.
really?
Thought
Yeah,
made it
yeah.
was crazy. Plus all my clients had to pay a membership. Like they were making
Oh,
an absolute fortune out of me. Um, but yeah, so like again, it was just going in, and I think a certain degree in the initial stages was a little bit of luck and probably reputation. I had a decent reputation in the area for getting results. Um, and that's probably what helped us in those first few months. We pretty much, I'm near sure we had like 100 clients within about the first 3 months. So we started with 60, and then
yeah.
we ended up with like 100 members by about the March or something of that year. So we got busy fairly quickly. Now, obviously, we're in a much different position now. Like at that time, it was just me. I did hire shortly after that, so I had him in the gym, give him a coaching job, um, and then now like I have a team of four. We've 150 recurring members, plus we've the last I checked, we've got like 83 active challengers at the minute. So we're in a very different position than what we were, back three. So we're open just over 3 years now.
Okay. So except for reputation then and the drive to kind of succeed, what else kind of came into play? What other type of things did you do to kind of find these clients, to keep
Yeah,
clients, to see clients and everything?
Facebook ads. So that was obviously a massive part. Now back then, like probably even with Facebook ads, even though I had a bit of marketing experience from the company I'd worked in previously, I was kind of winging it with the Facebook ads, but we were the only one in the area really doing them at the time. So we had quite a bit of success. I'm near sure our first campaign, we got something like 40 signups, and I can't remember. I think it was like probably £5 a lead or something back then. We were getting leads for. So yeah, Facebook ads has definitely played a massive part in the growth of my business. Even still to this day, like we're running Facebook ads like every single month.
So what about keeping clients? Because getting to 150 is like no mean feat. And then you've got like another 38 people on challenges and stuff.
Yeah.
What is it you reckon, that keeps the clients for the long term?
Yeah, so like we have this thing that we say in the gym. It's like a 5-star entry and a 5-star exit to our business. And for us, there's obviously loads of things that go into retention, but for us, it literally is like making sure that we deliver a 5-star service to the clients, like from the second that they make contact with us or we make contact with them, right through to them completing their challenge and becoming a member with us. Um, like for us, it's a lot about personalization, giving the client a personalized program within our SGPT. Even silly things that people might not think is that important is like from day one is like knowing the person's name, knowing about their training history or medical or injury history. And like this is across the team, because obviously with us having a team of coaches, like, one coach, the person could be getting coached by different people in different sessions. So it's like making sure every coach knows about these things, every coach knows their name, like making them feel welcome every single time they walk into the facility. Like if you come in to I know you've been in the gym, but obviously not when there's clients there, but when clients come into our gym, like they all talk about the RTB family, and how supportive the environment is. So
Hmm.
I think on top of us making sure we deliver a 5-star customer service, the community and culture that you build within your facility are massively important as well. Our clients play a massive part in the retention of other clients because they're all really supportive of each other. Like, they encourage each other in sessions. Like, even outside of sessions, we've seen a lot of friend groups, sort of forming and stuff.
Yeah, they're the funny ones. We're like, you've got a WhatsApp group for the 6:30 a.m. session. Yeah, we have. Oh, I didn't know about that. Yeah, they've all created their own little groups on WhatsApp or Facebook and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, so that's massive. You're obviously, customer service is big, and making the clients feel special. That's what we say, is make them feel special, make them feel better than what they did when they first came in. If they can leave happier, then we've done our job. But also building that sort of culture and community around your facility as well, that people feel like they're part of something more than just a gym, because there's loads of gyms, especially where we are. We've like probably 7 or 8 SGPT facilities within about 2 miles of us.
And it's surprising as well, like the clients come in, they do the session, they chat with you, and they go home, and that's kind of it to their face. They don't realize, like you say, how much work goes in behind the scenes. So I'm guessing you must have 1 or 2 staff meetings every week where you discuss all the clients, you go through things that you've noticed, different training programs, and so much work goes in behind the scenes that the clients will never, ever, ever know about.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, we have team meetings every week where we'll go through our programming. These last few weeks, we've been focusing a lot on customer service. So we've been talking about, like, how can we, go above and beyond for the clients. Last week, we kind of touched on our core values and stuff again. I was at a seminar in London, and they talked a lot about, like, core values and culture and community and stuff. So when I came back, we had a team meeting last week where we kind of, like, our core values were my core values.
Yeah.
And we had them on a wall, but trying to instill them in the staff. Like, don't get me wrong, my team is amazing, and they do take on board everything I implement. But what we're trying to do now is actually get them to come up with our core values, because at the end of the day, they're the guys that are on the gym floor working with the clients daily. They're the ones building the relationships with them. I'm just kind of there in the background now. I don't really coach anymore. There's so much goes into it on the back end.
So let's move a little bit into management then, because I'm guessing a lot of people maybe are watching this and kind of at that point. Maybe they've got 1 staff member, they've got 2 staff member. Like you say you've got, is it you plus 4 others?
Yeah, so there's 5 of us.
Oh, mate, wait till you get to 11, like with FitPro staff and DKNI staff. Oh, it's a nightmare. Yeah. But talk to us a little bit about management then. What is it like having to manage not just the clients, but actual people and staff?
Yeah, for me, staffing is the most difficult part of being a business owner. Especially when you think, probably like yourself, like, we were personal trainers one day. Now we're business owners and we're managing other people. Like, that's not really, it wasn't in the job description back then. But obviously we've had to evolve. So, like, it's definitely the most challenging thing. For me, I've made some big mistakes in the past with hiring, bringing in the wrong people, not for the right reasons. So part of making management easy, I think, is finding the right people. If you've got the right people in your team who are genuinely invested in, seeing the business be successful, you're on to a winner there.
Yeah, I think that's a key part. Like I said, it comes then to the core values as well. If they believe in the core values at the same time as well, they feel invested. They feel like they want to give more. But one of the things you mentioned there is, like, for us as well, we don't always hire on experience and like them being the best possible trainer. It's more about sometimes hiring for attitude and work ethic and commitment and stuff. They might not be the greatest trainer, but because they do all the other things so well, they'll fit in exactly how we need them to fit in.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Is there anything else you reckon then that anybody maybe getting started, anybody coming back in, or anybody just in general to kind of keep moving their business forward? Is there anything we've kind of missed?
I think the key things to do if you're wanting to be successful is to actually have a plan. Know exactly where you're trying to take your business. Knowing your numbers as well. So, like, if you know how many members you can bring in, like, what does that look like for you each month? Like, how much do you need to grow by? And then finding a team. If you can find a team that are genuinely invested in your business. Obviously, that how you do things will determine that, because I was hold my hands up at the start, was probably a shit boss as well. You know, I didn't really have my shit together quite as well as what I do now. And then when you've got that team, like, delegate stuff so that you can focus on, you know, the parts of the business that are going to help you grow. You know, probably like you've done yourself with the businesses. You know, delegate tasks that, you know, other people can look after, so that you can focus on the not the more important stuff, but the more important stuff for growing the business.
Yeah, I think that is definitely one of the biggest things I still don't do enough of, is the just letting go of certain things. Like, I will do all the onboarding calls for FitPro. I don't know why. I've got the rest of the team. The rest of the team know how to do it, but sometimes, you know what I mean, sometimes you have to believe in your staff to just take that leap of
Yeah.
faith and get them to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. My staff actually pulled me up on this recently, because I was delegating, but then still kind of, in a way, micromanaging and getting involved. And my head coach actually pulled me to the side a few weeks ago after a team meeting, and he was like, "Listen, can you stop micromanaging us, please? Like, we're good. If you give us
Yeah.
stuff, we're going to do it. You know, so just
Right.
trust us. And if we don't do it, then have a conversation with us then. But there's no need for you to be checking in with us every other day to make sure we're doing things, because it's getting done."
Nice, nice. Okay, so for anybody that is watching who maybe wants to know a little bit more about Pearse, or the gym, or how you got started, or just anything in general, is it okay if people can reach out?
Yeah, of course, 100%.
What is the best way to get in contact?
Probably through the Instagram page. So the RTB Fitness _ Belfast. That's probably the best way to get me. That's the page I'd be on the most, rather than my personal Facebook page.
No worries. Pearse, I appreciate you coming on today. Anybody that is watching, do feel free to reach out to Pearse. Or if you're ever in Belfast, just go and have a look at his new additional studio that he's got right next door to his current one.
Yeah. Cheers.
Pearse, I
Thank you for
appreciate your
having
time
me.
today. Thank you, mate. I'll speak to you soon.
Chat soon.
So that was Pearse giving us an insight into what it was like when he joined the industry, when he left, when he came back, where he is now, and also, not to forget, wishing him a happy birthday, which we also just didn't know when we did the interview. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this interview. If you have any questions or anything else, feel free to reach out to Pearse or leave some comments below, and I'll speak to you all in the next video. Cheers.